Grab your coffee, mama. It's time for coffee, clients, and nap time. I'm Sarah Marie, and this is your guide to building a business that works for you and your family. Here, we'll dive into creating a thriving business that lets you be the hands-on parent you want while designing the life you've always dreamed of. So if you're ready to balance business success with family life and make it all work in a way that feels right for you, then let's dive in. Hey mama, and welcome back to Coffee, Clients and Nap Time. I'm Sarah Marie, and today's episode is a little more personal and something I've been thinking about for a long time, but some recent events have brought it right back up to the surface. I'm talking about scarcity mindset in mum business communities, and what happens when mums don't support other mums, and about the competition over collaboration ugliness that can show up even in spaces that claim to be all about lifting each other up. So I want to start by saying this. If you've ever experienced this, if you've ever been on the receiving end of another mum in business coming after you because they see you as competition, if you've ever felt confused about why someone who should be your ally is treating you like a threat, then this episode is for you. Because it's time we really talked about it honestly. Let me take you back 15 years. I was a young-to-be mum with my first ever business, sewing products for babies. I was excited. I was terrified, and I was completely new to the business world. About a year later, I met another young mum who was in the process of starting a similar business. So I shared what I'd learned, celebrated her first sales, and cheered her on. She started making baby bibs, which was a product I also had in my range. Then we both started making dribble bibs, which were becoming really popular at the time. I had no issue with both of us making similar items because the market was more than big enough. Our styles were different, and our customers would go to whoever resonated with them. But she didn't see it that way. She decided that no other maker in our area was allowed to make that style of bib. And if they did, she went after them. Publicly. On social media. In local mum groups. She created drama and conflict where there really didn't need to be any. Soon it wasn't just the makers of that style of bib, but all bibs. This escalated to the point where I was being bullied online by her family members who weren't even in Australia, but yet they felt entitled to come after me and attack me personally. I almost gave up my business. I seriously considered walking away from something I loved because the toxicity and negativity were overwhelming. But in the end, I decided to rise above it, and I tried to tune out the noise as much as I could. More than that, I decided to go out of my way to support other makers at all costs. It pushed me to build my second and my third businesses, retail spaces that supported other makers and small business owners. I made it my mission to create the collaborative, supportive environment that I wished had existed for me. But sadly, this wasn't the only time I've encountered this scarcity mindset in the mum business community. Over my business journey, there have been many times where this pattern has showed up. Another retail shop owner that wouldn't share who they were insured through when I was struggling to find an insurer to cover the type of store I was running. It was basic information that would have saved me months of stress and money, but she saw my business as a competition rather than recognizing we could both succeed, even though she was based over 300 kilometers away from my store. Or a friend who distanced herself once I started mentoring under my new brand. Even though our target demographics were completely different and there was no overlap in who we serve. And then just this week, the issue came up again in a situation that made me think, why is it that mums of all people revert to this way of thinking? Why do we see each other as threats rather than allies? Why do we believe that another mum's success somehow diminishes our own? And I'm not the only one. I've heard so many similar stories. Mums excluded from groups, uninvited from markets, criticised for wins, or told not to talk about their businesses because it made others uncomfortable. Like the mum who was excluded from a networking group because another member felt her business was too similar, even though one was a wedding photographer and the other did family portraits. Or the mum who landed a speaking opportunity and shared her excitement online, only to have the achievement publicly downplayed by another mum-led business. Or the mum who asked for supplier recommendations in a maker group and was told, I don't share my suppliers, even though there was no exclusivity and there was plenty of stock and designs available. Or the mum who was uninvited from a market stall because an existing stallholder complained about potential competition. despite selling completely different products at different price points. Or the mum who shared a business win in a supposed support group and was met with crickets. But when she posted about a struggle, suddenly everyone had an opinion about what she was doing wrong. Or maybe the mum who was told she couldn't mention her business at a play group because another mum there had a vaguely similar business but had been with the group longer. These stories are everywhere, and every single one of them represents a missed opportunity for collaboration, support, and collective growth. These aren't situations where someone needed to protect their intellectual property or maintain healthy boundaries. These are situations where supporting another mum would have cost nothing, but it was withheld anyway. So what is scarcity mindset? Scarcity mindset is the belief that there's not enough to go around. That if someone else succeeds, it means there's less success available for you. That if another business gets a client, that's one less client that you could have had. That if someone else gets attention or recognition, it somehow takes away from your potential attention or recognition. It's rooted in fear that you're not enough, fear that there isn't enough, fear that you won't get your share before it all runs out. Scarcity mindset shows up in business in so many ways. It's the business owner who won't share information or resources because they want to keep them as a competitive advantage. It's the person who sees another business offering similar services and immediately goes on the defensive. It's the mum who can't celebrate another mum's success because she's too busy worrying about her own lack of success. It's exhausting. It's limiting. And ironically, it's often the thing that holds us back from the success that we're so desperately trying to protect. The opposite, however, is the abundance mindset. This is the belief that there's enough success, enough clients, and enough opportunity for everyone, that another person's win doesn't take away from yours. And abundance isn't just feel-good talk. It's strategic. It's good for business, your mental health, and longevity. And even more so, it creates opportunities that simply don't exist when you're operating from scarcity. So why does scarcity show up so much in mum-led businesses? Personally, I think there are a few reasons, and understanding them actually helps us break the pattern. First, many of us are already operating from a place of feeling like we don't have enough. We don't have enough time, enough energy, enough childcare, enough support. We're constantly managing scarcity in our daily lives, so it's not surprising that this mindset then bleeds into our business thinking. Second, there's enormous pressure on mums to make it work. We're supposed to be successful entrepreneurs while also being present parents, managing the households, and maintaining relationships. When we're already feeling stretched thin, it's easy to see other mums' success as proof that we are just not measuring up. Third, many of us have internalized the idea that we have to fight for our place at the table. We've been told that there are only so many opportunities for mums in business, that we should be grateful for whatever success we can grab, that we need to protect our territory. Fourth, social media has created a culture of comparison that feeds this scarcity thinking. We see other mums in business posting their wins, their client testimonials, their success stories, and instead of being inspired, we feel threatened. Instead of celebrating with them, we wonder why it's not happening for us. Fifth, there's this thing that happens when we're in similar spaces. When someone's business is completely different from ours, it's easier to celebrate their success. But when someone's doing something similar to what we're doing, suddenly we feel like it's a competition. We forget that similar doesn't mean identical and that there's room for multiple people serving the same market in different ways. And finally, I think some mums in business have confused protecting their business with attacking others. They think that maintaining boundaries means tearing down anyone who gets close to their territory. They think that competitive advantage means making sure no one else succeeds in a similar space. Mums in business already face enough external challenges. We really don't need to be creating additional obstacles for each other. Let's be honest about what we're up against out there. As mums in business, we're often not taken seriously. People assume our businesses are hobbies or side hustles, rather than legitimate ventures. They question whether we're really committed since we have children. They wonder if we can be trusted with important projects when we might need to handle a sick child. We face discrimination in ways that fathers in business simply don't. No one questions a dad's commitment to his business when he mentions his kids. No one assumes a father's business is less serious because he's working from home. and no one expects him to apologise for having family responsibilities. We struggle to access the same funding and opportunities that male entrepreneurs do. Studies show that women receive a tiny fraction of venture capital funding, and mums face even more scepticism from investors who worry about their availability and commitment. We're constantly having to prove ourselves in ways that others don't. We have to work harder to be taken seriously, to be seen as professional, to be trusted with significant projects or partnerships. We're judged more harshly for any perceived failure, and our successes are often attributed to luck rather than skill. And we're doing all of this while managing the actual work of raising children, which is invisible labour that no one accounts for when they're evaluating our businesses or our potential. So here's my question. Given all of that, given everything we're already up against, why on earth would we make it harder for each other? When we operate from scarcity, when we see other mums in business as threats rather than allies, when we attack or undermine or refuse to support each other, we're doing the work of everyone who already doesn't take us seriously. We're proving right the people who say mums can't work together professionally. We're reinforcing the stereotype that women are catty and competitive. We're making it harder for all of us to be taken seriously when we can't even support each other. The world already doesn't give us enough credit, enough respect, or enough opportunity. We can't afford to be stealing it from each other too. We should be each other's strongest advocates. We should be the ones lifting each other up, championing each other's successes, creating opportunities for each other. Because if we don't support each other, who will? When another mum in business succeeds, it makes it easier for all of us. It proves that it's possible. It shows that mums can build successful, sustainable businesses. It challenges the narrative that we're not serious or committed or capable. When we tear each other down, we're not just hurting that individual mum. We're reinforcing every negative stereotype about mums in businesses. We're making it harder for the next mum who's trying to launch, the one who's seeking funding, and the one who's pitching for a big contract. We need each other, not just for feel-good reasons, and not just because it's nice to be supportive, but because we genuinely need each other to change the landscape for mums in businesses. We need to be the ones creating opportunities when others won't. We need to be the ones making referrals and connections. We need to be the ones championing each other and proving that mums in business are a force to be reckoned with. This isn't just about being kind or supportive. It is strategic. It's about recognising that we're stronger together than we are fighting over scraps. Plus, scarcity mindset is expensive. And I'm not just talking emotionally, but also practically. It costs you opportunities. Because when you're focused on protecting your territory and seeing everyone as competition, you miss out on collaboration opportunities that could benefit everyone involved. You miss out on partnerships, referrals, shared resources, and collective growth. It costs you relationships because some of the most valuable connections I've ever made in business has been with other people in similar industries. These relationships have led to collaborations, support during difficult times, and some real genuine friendships. When you operate from scarcity, you cut yourself off from those types of connections. It costs you energy. Constantly monitoring what other people are doing, feeling threatened by their success, going after people you perceive as competition. Well, this takes enormous mental and emotional energy that could be invested in growing your business. It costs you reputation, because when you're known as the person who attacks others, who won't share information, who sees everyone as a threat, people will notice, and they remember. Your reputation as someone who operates from scarcity can follow you throughout your business journey. It costs you growth because when you're so busy protecting what you have, you're not focused on expanding and improving. You're playing defense instead of offense, which keeps you small and stuck. And perhaps most importantly, it costs you peace because living in a constant state of fear and defensiveness is exhausting. It steals the joy from business ownership and turns something that should be exciting into something stressful and negative. So what about abundance mindset then? Abundance mindset recognises that the market is big enough for multiple businesses serving similar clients. There are thousands of people in our local areas, millions in our states, and tens of millions in our country. The idea that only one business could serve them all is absurd. There's more than enough to go around. Abundance mindset understands that different businesses attract different clients. Even when we're offering similar services or products, our different personalities, approaches, and styles will resonate with different people. The clients who are meant for you will find you. The clients who are meant for someone else will find them. Abundance mindset sees other businesses as potential collaborators rather than automatic competitors. Maybe you can refer clients to each other when you're not the right fit. Maybe you can share resources or information that helps everyone succeed. Maybe you can create something together that's better than what either of you could have created alone. Abundance mindset celebrates others' success genuinely. When another mum in business lands a big client or launches successfully or reaches a milestone, abundance mindset says, that's incredible. She can do it. I can too. Her success only proves that it's possible. Scarcity mindset says, why her and not me? She's taking away opportunities that should be mine. An abundance mindset maintains healthy boundaries without being defensive. You can protect your time, energy, and intellectual property without attacking anyone who operates in a similar space. You can say no to things that don't serve you without tearing down the people behind them. Over the years, I've also noticed something concerning because sometimes the very spaces that say they're about support and collaboration can unintentionally mirror scarcity mindset themselves. It's not always intentional. Sometimes it shows up as gatekeeping, where only certain voices are getting heard or certain people are getting access. Sometimes it's unspoken competition between members or a culture that subtly rewards staying small and non-threatening. It happens when communities forget that true support means growth for everyone, not just a few. And I say this with so much compassion, but a lot of leaders in these spaces are still learning too. We all are. But if we want to change the culture of mums in business, it starts with the way that we lead, connect, and make room for each other. So I'm not saying organizations can't have boundaries or standards, and I'm not saying everyone should be included in everything regardless of fit. But there's a difference between thoughtful boundaries and territorial behaviour. There's a difference between protecting your members and attacking anyone who might be perceived as competition. True support means celebrating when mums succeed in any capacity, even if they're doing something similar to what you're doing. True support means recognising that there's room for multiple businesses, multiple approaches, multiple solutions to the same problems. True support means being secure enough in your own value that you don't feel threatened by others' success. And when support spaces feel safe, collaborative, and genuinely open, then everyone rises. So, if you're recognising scarcity mindset in yourself, and listen, we've all had moments of it, here's how to start shifting towards abundance. First, catch yourself when scarcity thoughts come up. When you see another mum succeed and your immediate reaction is negative, notice that. Awareness is the first step to change. Secondly, actively reframe competitive thoughts. Instead of, she's taking clients that could be mine, try, her success proves there's demand in the market. Instead of, I need to protect my territory, try, there's room for both of us to succeed. Third, practice celebrating others genuinely. When another mum in business has a win, comment on her posts, send her a message, share her success with your network. Make it a habit to champion others, even when they're in your industry. Fourth, look for collaboration opportunities. Is there someone doing similar work to you that you could partner with? Could you refer clients to each other? Could you create something together? Could you share resources or information that helps you both succeed? Fifth, remember that the clients who are meant for you will find you. You don't need to fight for every single opportunity. The right clients will be attracted to your unique approach, personality, and style. Always trust that. Sixth, focus on your own growth instead of others' territory. Instead of worrying about what other businesses are doing, invest that energy in improving your own offerings, serving your existing clients better, and developing new skills. Seventh, create abundance within your own space. Share resources freely. Support other mums generously. Build a reputation as someone who operates from abundance rather than scarcity. This attracts abundance back to you. And finally, surround yourself with abundance-minded people. If the communities or networks that you are in are operating from scarcity, it's going to be harder for you to maintain an abundance mindset. Seek out spaces and people who genuinely celebrate others' success. So, after 15 years of seeing this pattern, here's what I'm choosing. I'm committed to continuing to operate from abundance, even when others operate from scarcity, even when it costs me relationships or opportunities in the short term, even when it would be easier to close ranks and protect my territory. I'm committed to celebrating other mums in business, especially those doing work similar to mine, because I know that their success doesn't diminish mine and my success doesn't diminish theirs. I'm committed to sharing information and resources freely. If I've learned something that could help another mum in business, I'll share it. If I know a resource or contact that could benefit someone else, I'll make that connection. I'm committed to building communities and spaces that genuinely support mums in business, not just in words, but in actions. Spaces where abundance mindset is the default, not the exception. I'm committed to calling out scarcity mindset when I see it, especially in places that claim to be about support and collaboration, because silence doesn't change culture. And I'm committed to being secure enough in my own value that I don't feel threatened by others' success, to trusting that there's enough for all of us, to believing that we can all thrive together. This doesn't mean that I don't have boundaries. It doesn't mean that I say yes to everything or work with everyone. It doesn't mean I don't protect my intellectual property or maintain professional standards. It just means I choose to see other mums in business as potential allies rather than automatic threats. It means I choose abundance over scarcity, even when scarcity seems like the safer option. If you've listened to all this and you've experienced what I've experienced, if you've been on the receiving end of scarcity-driven behaviour from other mums in business, then here's what I want you to know. It's not about you. When someone attacks you or sees you as a threat, it's a reflection of their own insecurity and scarcity mindset, not a reflection of your worth or value. You don't have to shrink to make others comfortable. You don't have to dim your light or hide your success or apologise for doing well. Your success is not taking away anything from anyone else. There is room for all of us. The market is big enough. The opportunities are abundant enough. Your success and another mum's success can coexist peacefully. You get to choose how you respond. When others operate from scarcity, you can choose abundance. When others attack, you can choose to rise above. When others try to pull you into drama, you can choose to focus on your own growth. Not everyone will be happy for you when you succeed, and that's okay. The people who are secure in their own value will celebrate with you. It might feel vulnerable at first, but operating from abundance actually creates more opportunities, stronger relationships, and more sustainable success than scarcity ever could. And most importantly, you deserve to build your business without fear. You deserve to succeed without being attacked. You deserve to be in a space that genuinely supports you and not just claim to. So here's my invitation to you, whether you're a mum just starting in business or you've been at this for years like I have. Choose abundance, even when it's hard, even when others are choosing scarcity, even when it would just be easy to protect and defend and attack. Celebrate other mums genuinely, share their wins, support their launches, refer clients when you're not the right fit. Build them up instead of tearing them down. Create the collaborative environment you want to see. Don't wait for others to go first. Be the person who shares resources, makes connections, and champions others' success. Call out scarcity mindset when you see it, especially in spaces that claim to be about support. We can't change the culture if we don't honestly address the patterns that aren't serving us. And trust that there's enough for all of us, enough clients, enough opportunities, enough success. We don't have to fight each other for scraps. We can all feast together. Because the mums who succeed long term aren't the ones who jealously guard their territory and attack anyone who gets close. They're the ones who build collaborative relationships, share generously, and operate from a genuine belief that rising tides lift all of the boats. They're the ones who understand that mums supporting mums isn't just a nice hashtag. It's a business strategy that actually works. If this episode resonated with you, I want to hear about it. Send me a DM at balancedbizmama and tell me, have you experienced scarcity mindset in mum and business communities? How did you handle it? And what does abundance mindset look like for you in your business? And if you're looking for a community that genuinely operates from abundance, where celebrating others is the norm and scarcity mindset isn't tolerated, come join us in the Balanced Biz Mama Circle. because I'm committed to creating the collaborative, supportive environment that every mum in business deserves. Remember, Mama, your success doesn't diminish anyone else's, and their success doesn't diminish yours. There's room for all of us to thrive. You don't have to play small to make others comfortable. You don't have to hide your success or apologize for doing well. You can build a successful business while genuinely supporting other mums doing the same. Choose abundance. Choose collaboration. Choose to be the mum who lifts others up instead of tearing them down. Because that's how we change the culture. That's how we create the business community that we all deserve. That's how we prove that mums supporting mums can be more than just words. It's a way to actually do business. So until next time, operate from abundance, celebrate others generously, and remember, you've got this. Thanks for joining me on Coffee, Clients and Nap Time. If you've enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another mum who's ready to build their dream life. You can also join our Facebook page or Instagram to stay connected every day of the week. The link is in the show notes. Just remember, you've got this, and I'm here to help every step of the way.